Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1492, isn't it? I believe so. And it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont. Today, I believe we're going to have Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, the Brewmaster. It's 1491 is what it is today.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I did not do a super secret Sunday show yesterday, and part of that was because
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I went on an interesting trip to the place called Monterey, and then I talked to an array of interesting people in Benicia, that's north of Walnut Creek, and let me tell you, people there can be freaks. Not in Benicia, in Walnut Creek. Actually, I was in Pleasant Hill.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The wonderfully misnamed Pleasant Hill. Not Pleasanton, but Pleasant Hill. It's next to Walnut Creek.
Mike's
Oh my God.
Daily
So I went to a
Podcast.
hardware store.
Yeah!
And I had a gift card for $5 off for a... Now, I may have gotten this at a radio station. I may or may not have gotten it at a radio station. No one can be sure. And I went in with this gift card, and I said, can I use this? And they go, well, buy something, get something to buy, and then we'll see if we can just scan it and get the money out of it, right? So, look who just walked in. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How you doing? It's my horse, Nilly. Hello, Nilly.
As a Disgruntled Fiddle Player, tell you what.
What?
We also brought with us a friend of ours. He's out in the car putting his makeup on before he come in. He wanted to say a couple words to you because you talk about politics and whatnot.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Mike. I'm Senator William Shut-Up.
Oh, hello, Senator Will you shut up?
Yeah, I'm a senator that believes in Trump. Oh, Trump. Trumpity Trump, Trump. Anything he says, we believe in, because I'm William Shut-Up.
Oh, okay. Do you have any allegations about, well, you and high school girls or anything?
Yeah!
You do?
I used to live in the malls.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Oh, they used to live in the malls. Hey, today we have someone else who is that we haven't drawn in a while. I think in over a year. Yet he's often on this show. As he walks in.
Hello, Mike. This is Floyd the Floor Man. Who's this guy?
I think his name is Senator Will you shut up?
Will you shut up? Mike, I think that all illegal aliens should be put in a rocket and sent off into space. I will you shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, he sounds like a freak.
And he's got allegations against him.
That's just the left-wing media trying to paint me into a corner. Nothing ever happened. I like going into the malls. It's Christmas time. Why not go into the malls? I love it because I will you shut up. Mark, I'm starting to regret me bringing in this senator. Will you shut up?
I know. Wow.
Mike, women, they're complaining too much lately. None of this is my fault. I am here to try and make America perfect again.
No, to make America great again.
No, perfect. America used to be perfect. And now it's not because of the Democrats and liberal media. Fake news, fake news. The Russians should be our friends. You should go and hug them because I'm will you shut up.
I should go and hug the Russians?
Yeah, go and hug them right now.
I say it's better to get along with Russia than not.
Like that guy said. I think you should meet someone with the last name Romanoff and hug him. Because I'm will you shut up. Did I tell you I like high school girls?
Get out.
Bye, everybody. I'm will you shut up.
Wow.
Yeah, Mike, I'm really sorry about that. That sort of went all the wrong way that it should have. It didn't need to go that direction, and it did. And I'm sorry. Tell you what.
What?
You know, America should be perfect again.
When was it ever perfect? We've always had our faults that we try to learn from. We, need to make things great. Hey, I just realized that this is on the... Why is that doing that? Interesting. I'm going to hang up on that. Okay. So, I don't know if you've listened to this podcast a long time. You probably haven't. But back in the day, Will Ya Shut Up used to have his own talk show on this show. And it was called...
Will Ya Shut Ups. Liberty Nation Freedom Foam for All.
And it was crazy. Crazy. Hey, that sounds like a Pink Floyd song. Crazy. So Charles Manson died, speaking of crazy. And so the Justice League did not do as well. It got like $96 million, but still that was for all the money it cost and all the stars they had to pay for and movie stars. And you had the Gal Gadot's biggest movie, her huge debut. Well, I guess she was in that Batman Superman movie, but just the Wonder Woman movie on its own with Karen Bigelow directing. Did she direct it? No. Let me bing that. Who directed Wonder Woman? Back to the crazy woman, though, in Pleasant Hill. Patty Jenkins, who is 46, and she's from Victorville, California. Woo-hoo! That's Victorville.
All right.
Everybody, Victorville. Awesome. Let's see. So, so I'm in Pleasant Hill, and there's okay, so I've got this gift card. I find some things I want to buy. I'm in the line checking out, and there's this, so I have the gift card, and the guy scans it, and he goes, oh, it's not working. And I go, oh, okay, all right, well, I guess this gift card doesn't work, so, I'll leave it. And he goes, no, I'll figure it out. I'll do a search on it. And so he's looking, and the guy that was waiting behind me, he sees that this is going to take a while, so he leaves the line and goes to another line. There's 2 other lines open now, 2 other cashiers. So the guy is looking, trying to find... while he's looking, all of a sudden this woman, who's probably in her late 60s... She's got dark sunglasses on, and she's like huffing and puffing. You know how some people do? They sound like doing that. She's got her hair, I don't know what she I think she had gray hair. Or did she dye it? I forget. But the sunglasses on, I remember that. And she's making all this noise. Now, the counter that I'm standing at with the cashier is not very big. But this lady kind of pushes her way into where the counter area is and puts her purse right there on the table, right there on the counter. And she's huffing and puffing. And the guy says something like, okay, I think, let me call the manager. And then she yells out an audible F word. And I'm kind of freaking out at the moment. I'm going, what is up with this woman? So I'm just ignoring her. The cashier guy is ignoring her. We're just trying to ignore this crazy, overly anxious, stressed out woman. I mean, calm down. Calm down. You live in the Bay Area, but I guess apparently that stresses her out. Even though she's clear the heck out in Pleasant Hill, which is supposed to be pleasant and fine and wonderful and dandy. So I'm never going back to this Ace Hardware because, well, the cashier guy was nice. And the people helping out were nice. But I don't want to run into this lady. Oh, so... they finally get the gift card thing to work, and I leave, and I get out to my car, and I'm sitting there, getting ready to go, and the lady comes out, and she's apparently parked right next to me, and I get a good look at her face, and she's in her 60s, right? But she's already like really badly wrinkled, and to the point where, well, when you use the same facial expression over and over again, your body tends to wrinkle around that facial expression. And she had the biggest frown wrinkles. Like her whole face looked like a big, when you draw a frown, just imagine putting that with a bunch of frown lines around it. She was Queen Frown, is what she was. The Frown Queen. And that was my story about the Frown Queen. And scary. So what I am trying to make my wrinkles laugh lines. My mom's wrinkles are laugh lines because she laughs and she smiles a lot. And I thought, what a great example. I want that as I get closer and closer to 50. And so I try and smile, and I try not to, if I catch myself in a serious mood, I'm like, you know what? Does this serious mood really deserve me making a frown and ugly face? So I just try to smile. Smile is my point, as you should be smiling and not be in such a bitter, awful, disgusting mood like that woman was. There was no reason for that. There was no reason for being, all the huffing and puffing you do. And that happens a lot in the Bay Area. When you're waiting in line, I notice like at Trader Joe's, if I'm standing in line there and at one of those counters, and at Trader Joe's, it's very stripped down. They have it so everybody's standing, and they got bells ringing, and I guess it's a whole experience of, like, you could easily walk behind where the cashier is. Everything's sort of in the open. And that I've had that people coming up right up next to me as I'm trying to check out in the line and, kind of muscling their, like, that's not going to make this go any faster, you doing that. But people apparently think it will, and that's going to psychologically move things along. Well, that's about all that I had to say today. I guess I'm looking at the news. That is interesting too, what's going on. One of Roy Moore's accusers saying to Roy Moore, quit being willingly ignorant. And one guy writing an opinion piece in the Washington Post, I know Roy Moore, he's always been a con artist. Well, con artists get you elected, apparently. Steve Bannon said Gillibrand's Clinton criticism, an earthquake in the Democratic Party. Steve Bannon said in an interview that aired yesterday that Senator Kirsten Gillibrand set off an earthquake in the Democratic Party over her comment that former Bill Clinton should have resigned over the Monica Lewinsky scandal. And and apparently he was on a show that the company I work for, Salem, carries. Gillibrand's comments have ignited a debate within the party, with some cautiously urging to revisit the former president's legacy while others criticize the senator. There was a really good issue or episode of the podcast, and it's also a radio show, on the media, which you can actually listen to the podcast before you actually hear the show on NPR, where they talked to several women. It was all women reporters on the show, and all the, asking opinions about, what do you think? Can you separate Louis C.K. from the art, from the comedy? The guy that used to make you so laugh so much, and now you can't because you know of all the disgusting things he did towards women. And this one lady, I forget, mostly these women were writing for the New Yorker magazine. And so I forgot her name. She said, I can't because he's broken my trust, is what she said about Louis C.K. But they also spoke about some of the women who made allegations about Bill Clinton, and I forgot the particular accuser's name, but there was one of the accusers. You have your Paula Jones, your star, what's-her-face, that came out and talked about Bill Clinton, and they seemed to be more like they were doing it for the money to get on to all the tabloid TV shows. What was the Current Edition and all that stuff, and it just kind of looked like cheap trash news. It wasn't true. But there was one, and I can't think of her name at the moment, she was none of that. She was actually asked to come out and talk about what Bill Clinton did, and she seemed to be her testimony seemed to be true. So, yeah, in this environment in which we live, where we're being very cautious and we're pulling out all the snakes and we're exposing the light, as one person said on the show, on the media, with Brooke Gladstone, who was the host, it is like it's a Matrix moment. It's like that moment with Keanu Reeves where he's like, whoa, and he's in the subway, I think, and he sees all the bad guys and the actual matrix of the computer system, and he's able to become superhuman or he's able to thwart all the bad guys. Oh no, it was in that apartment building. Yeah, the big showdown. Wachowski brothers movie thing. We just went crazy. The CGI. Yeah, so having this moment of clarity now, where we're seeing all the lights have come on, we see the rats trying to get underneath the cracks and whatnot. Oh, this imagery is lovely, isn't it? So, as we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast, Somewhere Podcaster Valley. It is a good episode to listen to on the media this week, and it made me think. It made me realize that there's a whole other side of this discussion where I think I brought this up on a recent podcast about how if you are interested in someone at work, if you're a male and you're interested in a female at work, even if there are no rules in your employee handbook that say anything about how you can't date at work or you shouldn't date anyone you know at work, it's going to be completely verboten now. Just forget it. All you're going to be able to do is meet people through your dating app or at the club, at the bar. Maybe that guy from eHarmony who looks like Orville Rettenbacher can help you. And that's the end of this show. I think we should end it there. Except that I had a great Saturday. Even though yesterday was a little weird going to Benita and dealing with the strange frown-crowned woman. The Monterey is so nice. It was so clear. You could see all the way up to Santa Cruz. Basil got to run on the beach. Oh, in Carmel. It was so great. And I think, I'll leave it there on a high note, on an up note. So enjoy the podcast picture with Floyd the Floorman. Enjoy the rest of your Monday if you can. And you can chime in, let me know what you think about all this stuff, this craziness that's happening with Trump and Russia and frowning, bitter people at 336MM Daily. You can call me 336MM Daily, and you can also email me, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com, and check out the website, MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST.com. And whenever you're going to buy anything on Amazon, click on that Amazon link at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Remember to do that first, and that way you help out the show when you buy anything on Amazon. And there is also the PayPal if you'd like to help us out that way. Talk to you soon, and we'll have the next show, Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!